No.
You know.
That's not recording. That okay? Now we're recording. So because that's off. You see that? Look, that's just so you know, you're off.
Okay.
So now we're up. I think we were having some conflict with the phone, but all right, guys. So this is my friend Abner. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. I met him through my son. Welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thank you, man.
Good seeing you.
Happy to be here.
All right, so we're gonna start with a very interesting topic because I know people have talked about it before, but what do you think about COVID? Do you think it's real or not?
I think it exists.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say that. Like I it's kind of a funky thing because like I just COVID. I think it exists. I don't think it's as bad as they made it out to seem.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I got the 2 shots because it was pushed on me by like where I was working because like that's our business. We're meeting, we're talking to people all the time, and got to the point where they kind of pushed it on us, and I resisted it for a long time, and then like it got to the point that I wasn't going to be one of the first guinea pigs anymore. Had been around quite a while, so I was like, you know what? If I get it, like if I get the shot, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think I don't think it's gonna hurt me that much. I've used other stuff that's worse, and you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I've used drugs. I've injected steroids. I've injected different ugly things, right? So I mean, like if I get a shot, like if I didn't grow an arm and a leg from something else, I don't think I'm gonna get.
No, but you're a healthy guy, dude. You roll.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, I'm not saying that it. I'm not saying that I've never said it doesn't exist. I'm just saying, like you said, I think the numbers are overinflated, and I think too, if you get a heart attack, you die from COVID. It's like, no, he died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Heart attack. Oh no, but he had COVID. But it doesn't matter. He died of a heart attack.
No, yeah.
You see?
No, that's true.
And you still see people wearing masks. I'm like, what the hell's going on around here?
You know what? Like I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I mean like just the honesty of it. I see a lot of people with masks, and like I tell my wife, I'm like, oh man, poor people. Like they must be watching what they eat. They must be going on a regular basis to the gym. They must be doing that too, right? If they're wearing a mask, right? But you know that's not the truth. It's just me being a jerk.
Listen, man, I had a 300-pound lady tell me I was too close to her. I'm like, you're worried about me being too close? I think you should be worried about the fact that you're 300 pounds.
Yeah.
But, ignorance is bliss.
I mean, hey, I don't mind somebody being a little chubby and having a little extra fat, but I mean, like, when it's too much, and it's you can't lie around that. You know what I mean?
We have choices, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's what we were talking about earlier about, like, we live in this Western society where we have so much, but we take it for granted. We feel like sometimes you would see the world as far as like social media, like people are being oppressed, women are being oppressed, right? Yeah. And it's like we made a pretty good world out of what we have right now. We really have.
No, like I mean, hey, like women have rights. Like I mean, a lot of minorities have rights. Like it's not what it used to be. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
The old world that we used to live in, like
for sure,
where like tribes and people were enslaving each other.
Exactly. That's history, right?
That's history. That's human history, and it doesn't stop or begin in America. It begins all over the world, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, I mean, I think we're doing pretty good. Where it's like where a minority today can own their own business, make money, can get an education. Yeah, you're gonna have an asshole telling you like this and that or whatever. But just because he says that doesn't mean I can't do what I want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like we talked about, like it's like a man doesn't have the right to tell another man what he can't do.
That's right.
So it's like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And it's like we have that right. So like I love America for that. And I'm blessed to live here.
For sure, man. It's an incredible country that we live in. I've been abroad and I've been to some real shitholes, so I definitely have an appreciation for this country. I'm an immigrant. I was not born here. I came to the States when I was like 7, so yeah, man, I just think this is an incredible country. I the same as you, man. I'm a businessman, and I feel the same way too. As no man can tell me what I can or can't do. And I never really looked at it from that perspective, like somebody was putting me down. I'm like, dude, if I work hard enough, I can get anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always looked at the world like that, that nobody's keeping you down, especially not here in the United States.
Yeah.
But listen, tell us about your shujitsu journey, because that's something that we're connected to is shujitsu.
Yeah. I guess where should I begin? Because I feel like it's a long story.
Mm. I know
um,
you said you were a wrestler,
so I
right?
wrestled. I mean, in high school and middle school,
Mm.
and I guess I can say what, like 7 years. I wrestled, like schools, like the folk style. I
Mm-hmm.
did a little bit of the freestyle and Greco-Roman while I was in school too.
Mm-hmm.
After that, like we didn't really have a whole lot of opportunities to wrestle in college. You know what I mean? Let alone me being that good, because I don't think I was the greatest high school wrestler. I got better maybe afterwards because it's like I started helping out the team and rolling around with the guys.
Yeah, yeah,
I wasn't so into myself, my journey. It was just about enjoying it.
of course.
And it's like in that position, like I was able to enjoy wrestling more, and I learned more because I was just happy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, I ended up trying jujitsu through Tom Pennington, which
Mm.
is one of Travin's black belts.
Okay.
And like I was, joking with you, like it's like I tried one class and I didn't like the cross collar choke from guard.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of boring,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, if this is what it is, I don't want to do it, But
Mm.
I'm a young guy, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm not thinking like there's more levels to this shit, right?
for
So
sure.
then like I stopped. I just kept going out. I was in school at the time. I was doing the partying thing and like hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like I ended up meeting my wife through there. Like I started working out. You know what I mean? I got into like lifting and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it wasn't really that serious. Like bodybuilding came later.
Mm.
But it's like then I ended up joining Unit 2 because Tom Pennington was actively there
Okay.
as a purple belt at the time. He would become eventually a black belt, but he was a purple belt. And I was working in Buford, Georgia. And
Mm.
then I would drive from Buford, Georgia through all that traffic to make it to the 5:30 class. I did that for about 6 months before I like just snapped.
Mm.
And I was like, I can't drive this. This Atlanta traffic is bad,
It's
right?
bad, dude.
It's like, let alone the stupid drivers, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of people, you know? And then it's like my son, he lived like we lived in Dunwoody next to
Mm-hmm.
Shallowford, right next to like walking distance from Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
My wife thought jujitsu is jujitsu. So she was like, hey, this place is right here with jujitsu, like you're doing, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. I'm a dumb white belt. I don't know there's rivalries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then my wife like signs him up for the kids class in
Mm-hmm.
Alliance. And then people are asking me like, oh, yeah, I'm like, yeah, my son started jujitsu too. Oh, yeah, when's he come by? Like, oh, no, like, it's this place called Alliance. I'm a dumb white belt, man. Like,
Mm.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Like, there's a
yeah,
rivalry, like a competitive rivalry between them.
for sure.
And it's like and like I said, like it got to the point where I was just the dumb white belt driving too much, didn't understand, like, I was like, oh well, I guess I'll just go where my son is, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking no big deal, right? I went there, I didn't last, man. Like I learned some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't like the chemistry that I had there
With the people.
with the people. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's like you need to find a tribe where like you can connect and
Mm.
feel people.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? Something like personal, like jujitsu, you're people's personal bubble, man. I mean, like you got to feel some chemistry with the people you're training with, right?
I agree.
And it's like it was like a handful of people like at Alliance that I can say like, wow, like I really felt like at home with. But there was a lot of them that like I didn't feel like they really took to me
Yeah,
too
yeah,
well. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's like I was like, and that kind of overpowered that to the point where I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Let me just keep working out because I'm trying to get my deadlift up.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to get my squat up. So then I started getting serious in the lifting. I left Alliance. My son, he wasn't really enjoying the jujitsu as much anymore. This was before he started wrestling because he's a high school wrestler now.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I got a bodybuilding coach and I started lifting. He started helping me monitor my macros and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I went from 186 to like 256 at one point.
Damn.
Like it was a lot of food, a lot of drugs, and a lot of food and a lot of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So no running, no nothing, right? No
Yeah,
wasting
dude.
calories.
Yeah,
And I got big and I got strong, but I wasn't healthy.
yeah.
I remember like walking upstairs and I'm breathing heavy, like, and I'm sweating all the time. now, like as a skinny person naturally, like, and I used to look at big people like, why this guy's sweating?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
now I get it. You know, you're carrying around a lot of weight now.
Mm.
So then, we ended up like, I guess, like we, you know, it got to the point where it was like I didn't feel good. I had a enlarged prostate, that type of stuff. It's kind of weird talking about it, but I mean, I'll say it. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've had an issue with that lately, man.
Like it was from me taking Dianabol,
Yeah.
which was a steroid too. You know what I mean? All that crap. You know what I mean? And it's like, I was like, this has got to stop, man. Like I don't feel good. Like I'm getting bigger, I'm getting stronger, but otherwise than that, like I feel like shit. You know what I mean? And I got a family, and I got to be able to provide for them. And it's like, what if I'm gonna get a random heart attack one day and like go out, you know? And that's it.
Mhm.
You know, so like I decided what really stopped me, like I had that in my mind, and then what really stopped me was like a oblique injury because I was doing deadlifts.
Mm.
I was doing 10 sets of 10, and I got to the 7th set, and I had been increasing incrementally for weeks and months. So I finally got to 505 pounds.
Damn.
But I was doing the sumo deadlift, which was like it's not as bad as a conventional where you're using all back. I was using legs and everything. So I mean, it sounds like a lot of weight, but I mean, you're involving your legs and
Yeah, no,
your back. So I mean, it's
still a lot of weight though, man.
it still
It's
was
a
a lot of weight.
serious weight, man.
But then like I tore my oblique.
Yeah, that's a serious weight. That's serious weight.
It's like I had internal bleeding and bruising, and I couldn't work out for months. And that was like in August 2019, and I didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the first active thing that I did was jujitsu, because I told my dad, I was on the phone with my dad. My dad was living in the Bronx at the time, and I was like, man, Dad, like first of all, like I'm broke, man, but I want to try this jujitsu stuff. So my dad's like, hey, I'll just spot you the money, man. Just join and have at it, and we'll see what happens. I'm like, oh, I appreciate that, Dad. I'm not gonna bite the hand that feeds me. You know what I mean?
You have a good relationship with your dad, or no?
Yeah, I do.
He's a good man.
He's a great man. You know, like he's a preacher's son, a Pentecostal preacher's son. You know, so I was raised in a Pentecostal household early on.
Really?
You know, so it's like I remember like, you know, going. It was so serious religiously that it was like going to see the Batman and Robin movie when it came out. You know,
Yeah.
with Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It was like my dad was like, hey, I'm taking you to this. Don't tell anybody that we're going to the movie theater, you know, because this is of the world. And, you know, we're Pentecostal, we're Christians. We're not supposed to be intermingling with the people of the world, you know?
Damn, yeah.
Like, it was like,
serious.
It was that serious, you know? And my dad was still like taking me out. I was hanging out, going places, you know what I mean? He was just trying to have me a regular childhood, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not religious anymore. It's like after I left, like after I started growing up, you know what I mean? But I mean,
yeah, but you're married. You have traditional values.
No, of course.
You know,
of course. And I guess like, you know, from that upbringing, it's like, you know, like we've spoken about, you know, it's like there's a head of the house, you know what I mean? And you know, as you know, me having a wife, it's like I have to give her respect and stuff like that. I value her position in our household.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because
it's very important, but somebody has to lead. So
yeah.
Man leads, women follow.
Right. And if we're of the same accord, we're the same flesh. Because once you're married, you're the same flesh, right?
Yeah.
And the Bible says that. I'm not religious, but I mean, I follow the Bible.
For sure.
You know, and
for sure.
You know, shoot, man, like my wife, like at first it was kind of, you know, like while we fall into those positions,
yeah,
you
she's
know what I mean?
Fighting you.
Yeah, you know, and it's like me, it's kind of like, okay, you don't want to follow me? Well, fuck it. You know what I mean? Because it's like I have that mentality coming from a young kid, you know?
Of course.
And it's like, you know, like me being the head of the house now, but it's like once you fall into that position, you feel it. And it's kind of like naturally, like as a man, that's what comes forward.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and coming from those values, and then like my wife, like she has both her parents. It's like she came from those values too.
Yeah.
So it's like, but like, you know, it's I lead, she follows. But we do it in such a way where it's like there's no reason for me to tell her that she's the tail of the house. She's the head with me in my opinion. You know what I mean? But it's like But in a lot of ways, it's like she doesn't feel comfortable taking a lot of decisions, so she'll tell me to do things and make the decision. And like I just, we operate like that, and it's been successful. You know.
So the roles, the reason why I say this is because now it's almost, you almost get canceled by saying something that it's almost like submission.
Yeah.
Somebody has to submit, right? In this
Yeah.
relationship. If you want to have a healthy relationship, as far as man and a woman, the woman has to submit to the man.
Yeah.
But like I said, in this society, the society tells them, or the media tells them, you can have it all. You don't need a man. And it's like, you need a man,
Yeah,
right?
you do, man. I mean, like my wife, like she had her son.
Mm.
It's our son.
Yeah.
Like we've adopted him, or I've adopted him.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
to
yeah.
be like to have my name. We're still going through the court stuff, documentation, but I mean, he calls me dad.
Yeah, yeah.
And like
But he has that respect. We talked about this earlier. He has that respect for
he
you.
has a respect for me.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
And it's like the thing is, like I had to tell her straight up, you can't raise a man.
Yeah,
You don't know how to raise a man.
exactly.
You may have the idea of raising a man,
But you don't know.
You don't know what it feels like to be a man. You
For
don't
sure.
know what it feels like to be a boy. You don't know what it feels like to be like getting in the fight in the playground with the other boys. You have an idea. It's like me saying, like, like I could tell you, like, I have an idea of what it's like to go to space, be an astronaut and get on the
Yeah.
space shuttle and stuff like that. Do I really know what the hell they're doing? No, I don't.
Mhm.
I have an idea. So it's like, can a woman raise a man? Yes, but not to the level that a man can raise a man with the correct values.
I agree.
Because not everybody's a man nowadays either. You know what I mean? But like with the correct values as a man, like a woman can't counteract that. Just like I can't raise a woman.
Exactly.
I can't raise a woman. You know what I mean? Like my wife has to teach my daughter how to be a well-standing woman.
Yeah.
A well-standing, put-together woman. My job for her is just to offer her the love that a father can give his daughter.
Mhm.
But like for the boy, I had to teach him, and it wasn't easy. He fought back a lot because he was being raised by his grandma and his mom,
Exactly.
and his dad really wasn't in the picture at all.
Yeah.
So it's like it was kind of like a sticky situation, like to the point where it's like he had a lot of feminine characteristics.
Yeah.
And like he was snappy, he was sarcastic, cynical,
Dramatic.
He would take a lot of indirect statements, throw them at me. And it was like, like we said, like it's like men are violent, women are like sly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like
Passive aggressive.
They're passive aggressive. They'll tell you something, like if you don't get it, you're probably a moron to them. But it's like a guy, it's like I don't like you. You're fucking with me. Like that's the way it is.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
the way it
That's
is.
how with men is, right?
Yeah, of course.
So it's like he had those feminine characteristics about him, where like it was like that. And it's like, and before anybody says anything, think about it. A lot of women don't even like each other. So I'm just gonna say that too.
Listen, you're speaking the truth, man. Like I
Yep.
said, this is what this podcast is about, Abner. For the old breed, it's about men being men. I agree with everything that you have to say. It's the same thing that I would tell, any woman. And it's like, I'm a man. A woman cannot tell a man how to be a man because you're not. That's not what
No.
you are. But
Right.
see, we create our value from the very beginning. A woman creates her value through her looks, through her beauty. Like there are circles of men that are talking about this already. It's called the red pill.
Right.
So they're saying the same thing. It's like nobody gave a fuck about you when you were 18. But if you're 18 and you're a woman, you're attractive.
Yeah.
You can be anywhere you want.
And I tell my daughter that, or not to the degree that like I speak with an adult,
Of course.
obviously, but like I've had this conversation with my wife where it's kind of like, as a man, I can offer you hard work.
Mhm.
I can, like, as a man, like men go to war.
That's right.
You don't see like millions of women flocking to the battlefront,
Exactly.
right? So it's like, it's mostly men. Well, why is that?
Mhm.
That's just the way it's been for all of history, right?
Of
Can
course.
a woman go to war now? Of course she can.
Yeah.
I guess she can represent her country and then do her service. You know what I mean? And that's completely respectable by all measures. But the thing is, like, as a majority, as generally speaking, not all women think the same. Not all men think the same. But generally speaking, men gravitate towards something like this.
Mhm.
And it's like women, like what we were talking about, like about what you mentioned about the red pill. It's like my wife, I explained to her like women have their sexual, I guess, value.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like
Sexual market value. Yes.
like the thing is like it's like they can provide, they can procreate and provide children to a family. They can like that's the, you know, create a home. You know what I mean? Because a woman can create a home like a man can't.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
And then like at the same time, it's kind of like throughout their years of coming up, they learn how to use their kindness, their sweetness, their gentleness, as in the woman nature, to show their value as like, you know what I mean? Like this young woman can grow up to be a fine mother, a fine, like, you know, procreator to the household, you know, a fine, like, you know what I mean? Like mother to children, provide the, you know what I mean? Because naturally that's what a lot of women provide.
But what was the first thing that you noticed about your wife? Her looks, right?
Yeah.
That's what you were attracted to.
Yeah.
Physically.
Physically, I had to be attracted to her.
There you go.
She had to fit what I wanted, right? So it's like, I mean, that's just the way it is. And I mean, like, I've heard women say like, oh man, like, you know, for women, it's opposite. You know, they look at a guy and they don't think about looks first, apparently.
Resources.
Status. They look at things like that. Like, it's like a lot, like my wife told me, and we try to teach her son that, and she drives it to him too. She's like, be confident because somebody's going to be looking at you and measuring you by your confidence. But what comes with confidence? Confidence can attain you status. Confidence can attain you the resources. It can attain you like
competence. Confidence comes with competence. Being competent. Right. That's what a woman looks for, like in a man. The status. What can he do? If a man is successful, he's proven to a woman that he can get things. That's what makes him successful.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Of course.
So, and it's okay. It's okay. It's almost like when some people say that women are gold diggers, or some women, I think pretty much, Abner, all women are looking for a man to lead them, but they have to be competent, because if they're not competent, they're going to lead them into trouble.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why it's not good for a woman to run a man.
Right.
Because he's not competent. He's not being a man. A man has to lead.
Right.
Right. So these circles are talking about that right now with women.
It all comes around.
Yeah.
It all comes around.
But all women in a woman's world, you know, they're all 10s. It's like, you're not a 10. It's like, imagine if you're overweight, you got 3 kids, but you want to meet a man that makes $100,000. That man doesn't want to date you.
Yeah.
You see, but they get upset about that. It's like, but that.
It's like my son, like he's right now, you know, God willing, like my son has been blessed with, like, you know, he's a very competent young man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has a 3.9 GPA. All he needs is one advanced class to get his 4.0, you know? But I mean, like, I see him and I tell him, I'm like, look, man, like, you're at this point where, like, you're getting a proper education. You know, your future is pretty bright because, you know, you have proper grades to match, right? Yeah. When you're going to go and search for a partner, like, what kind of person do you want? Well, like he says, like, you want, somebody, you know, calm, relaxed. Like, I'm like, but what kind of person? You know what I mean? Like, you know, nice, kind, like, you know, like fitting into like what he knows and what he understands.
Yeah.
And like, I'm thinking like, but then what you said is true. Then you see a lot of women that they fall back and they just wait, and they're not working on themselves. They're not working. They're not trying to be the very best they can be, but they're going to expect the man to be the best that he can be, so that they can live off of that.
But Abner, because they don't have to anymore with social media, all you have to do is be pretty. Imagine you see these women on yachts. Yeah. It's not her yacht. How did she get that? How did she get to be on that yacht? See, you and I, we would have to get to a certain status to be on that yacht.
Yeah.
See, that's why it's harder to be. Actually, when you think about it, it's, like I said, we have to prove who we are from the very, very beginning. Nobody's going to put Abner on a fucking yacht because of Abner. Abner has to have attained something in his life. A woman only has to be beautiful. Yeah. So especially now with social media, it's like you could be the hottest chick in Kansas. Well, a guy in Dubai is seeing you on Instagram and it's like, hey, babe, I'm going to follow you to Dubai. You and I can't do that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there are differences between men and women. It's the same thing what you were talking about, men going to war. When I got out of the army, the infantry, there were no women in the infantry. They just recently allowed that, right?
Right.
So if you want to win a war, it's not a social experiment. We are bred to fight.
Yeah.
So if you want to win and you want to make sure you win a war or a battle, you're going to send all men,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Men are capable of strength. I mean, naturally, like we're gifted with testosterone,
Mm.
and testosterone will turn you into a monster.
And this whole thing with equality, if people are complaining so much about equality, how come they're not complaining about their plumbers? Because pretty much all plumbers are men. What about ditch diggers?
Yeah.
Like, is somebody complaining about there's not enough women ditching? You know?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The world, whether people, like I said, people may get butthurt about it or not, but men do the most dangerous jobs.
Yeah.
We basically maintain the infrastructure, Abner.
Yeah.
But society's telling us that the masculinity is bad, and now you got these guys wearing fucking dresses, and men and young men not being, raised by men.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why society's the way that it is right now. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, you're making me think with this, because it's like it's like I've talked about this, what I'm gonna say, like with my wife, but it's like you saying that right now. It's like it sounds almost like America, or like the current society. Like I know it's not just America, but it's a lot of it's in America. But it's like we're kind of being pushed on us like results. Like everything's about results. But it's like what does it take to get there? And I would say, like what you were mentioning about women, it's like women are looking at men as like what they can provide. Those are results.
That's right.
So like, would you say maybe that the absence of masculinity has caused more people to focus on a feminine outlook, where it's just focused on results versus what it takes to get there? Because as me, I think as a man, I'd be willing to dig the ditch. I'll enjoy digging the ditch.
Yeah.
We'll achieve the results at the end, but I want to get in there and get dirty. You know what I mean? I want to, I remember we had a flooding around our house. I had to put on my boots, and I had to take a shovel, and I had to dig a trench to have the water flowing out. And I thought it was the most funnest thing that I could do, because I had a blast, like moving the dirt, creating the trench, watching it happen before my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, yes, the result was there, but I did it because I was enjoying doing it. You know what I mean?
But we've been bred to do that. That's why I'm saying it's all evolutionary psychology. Everything is explainable. We can explain, because society's telling us now that we're all special fucking creatures. We're not. We're all the same. We're fucking human beings. You see what I'm saying? But everybody's fucking special. Everybody gets it's the pussification of America. That's what's happening right now. And the reason why they're doing that is because the government is trying to control us. Because we are the men, or men that are men are the men that start revolutions.
Yeah.
You see? Because we want to change.
Yeah.
But then you have socialism when everything is fucking equal. It's like, this country is not about being equal, because you got fucking billionaires. I mean, guys, somebody's complaining because they don't make enough money. It's like, bro, you're not working hard enough.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't making enough money before we started our own cleaning business. And I was making enough money to get by, but I didn't feel secure with that.
Yeah.
And like you said, like as a man, it's like it's ingrained into me. It's like, this is not okay. This is not okay. You know what I mean? Like, I got to change something. And I mean, seeing my father-in-law doing the carpet cleaning business and all that, like it inspired us. You know what I mean? To get working like that. And it's just like we just wanted to make a better way. And it just, I don't know, man. It's just.
Yeah, but you own a cleaning company, right?
We own it. We own our own cleaning company.
How did you start that cleaning company?
Well, the thing is, like, working for my father-in-law, like, I left my job thinking and believing, like, I'm going to make full profits off each job that I do. That wasn't the case, right? I was making about the same money and some more here and there. But, working under my father-in-law, like, it's just, he's been running it for 30 years, but it was just like around the clock, 7 days a week, sun up, sun down.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, he didn't know how to properly run a company. He had been a coyote in the border.
Really?
Like, years past before he came to the United States.
Damn, that's hardcore, man.
So like, this guy, like, he's lived a fucked up life. Like, he's not okay. in a lot of ways.
He's
You know
a
what I mean?
survivor for sure.
You know, like he's
That's a dangerous job, man.
like he's not okay. You know, he's and
Wow.
then he came over here to the United States, and for 30 years he's had his carpet cleaning. You know, he's oh, my father-in-law is something funny. He's stepped in to like defend a woman that was getting yelled at by her husband. He decided to step in, and it was like at a it was like a Chinese restaurant or something, and like he got both of his front teeth like kicked out of his mouth by that woman's husband. He has fake front teeth. Like he's just a crazy guy. Like it's just but I mean all that shit. Like he's an alcoholic now, and it's not. He's not gonna see this. He doesn't give a damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? None of his friends are gonna see this.
No,
but I mean, like
man.
I'll tell you. You know what I mean? It's like
He looks like he's lived a hard life, dude.
he has, and it's like, and it's not. You know, I respect his work ethic because he works hard, but it's like he wasn't there for his family in the way.
It sounds like he's self-destructive too.
He is, and it's like if things get hard, like he'll work through it, but he'll work through it and destroy everything in the way around him. You know?
But tell us more about your business. Like, how
No,
did you
like-
start your business?
Like it's working with him,
Mm.
like you said, it was self-destructive,
Mhm.
and I saw that going that way, and I was like, I'm not gonna be successful with this guy.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's all about him, and if it doesn't work out, he's gonna destroy me in the process. So I just, man, it was like a Thursday evening. I got on my laptop, and I was like, I gotta make a business license. I got my business license. It was like $100.
Yeah.
I got my EIN number, tax ID number. I started like that. I called one of my buddies who was a you know what I mean, all for the purpose. And I had liquidated my 401k from my old job. And with that money, I bought like, you know, materials and stuff like that so I can begin the carpet cleaning. And I was using my.
So you do that too? You do carpet cleaning? You do everything?
Yeah. You know, it's not as much residential stuff. Now it's all of it is more so apartment key turning.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we got off like that, like got our workers' comp, got all those documentations, and then we jumped. We had an opportunity because they were going to give our father-in-law an extra property, like apartment complex. The guy has like 11 apartment complexes.
But how do you
that he
how do
wants.
you solicit, man? Teach me about that because I told you my girlfriend has a cleaning company, and I want us to get more work.
Well, okay.
So how do I do it?
The thing is, like, I've really built on what he had.
Okay.
So like the thing is, like people, you can walk into an apartment leasing office and just tell them, hey, you know, I offer this, I offer that. The thing is, you can't be everywhere at one time, just like I can't be everywhere at one time. There's jobs for everybody out there.
So do you hire other people too? Or?
We have hired people
Because you know I've done it with my girlfriend. I don't know anything about fucking cleaning business, but I know how to clean.
Yeah.
So she's taught me a lot. So I don't mind getting my fucking hands dirty, but I'm how the fuck do I get more work? That's what the fuck I want to know.
No, like we go to a leasing office. We'll ask to speak with the manager or ask to speak with the maintenance supervisor, and that's usually the person who's in control of vendors, outside vendors coming in. That's who we are. We're a vendor, right? So then we go in there. We let them know what's going on. A lot like what we offer, but a lot of it is word of mouth too. So if you can get your foot in the door with one apartment complex,
they'll give me some more.
That'll allow you, because the thing is, you'll create, like you said, like this is all about relationships. Business is relationships, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, like when you create a relationship and you show your worth to this apartment complex and this maintenance supervisor, these guys aren't going to live and die there. They're going to move around to different places.
Yeah.
They're going to have maintenance guys that work underneath them that go to different places too.
Yeah.
That's how my father-in-law took off.
Yeah.
At first, he worked for somebody else. And then, like, because they knew him from doing the jobs, he was able to start his own business and they were employing him.
So I need to just start soliciting apartment complex.
Somebody's going to call you. Somebody's going to need it. And when they need it, they'll give you a couple jobs, see what you're at, what you offer. Like we got to the point where we weren't making any money at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's most businesses. You know? So then like we just took off like that, and we've gotten more jobs and at different apartment complexes because of that. you know.
Listen, the venture that I'm doing with my son right now, it hasn't made a profit yet. We're just getting members. I mean, we have a
Yeah.
lot of members. Our kids' classes are off the chain. I mean, everything is good, but yeah, it takes time, man.
Yeah,
It takes
it
time.
does. And I mean,
A long process,
a lot of
painful.
a lot of people think that business owners are wealthy. It's Yeah, I'm sure they are. It's just not
Not in
from
the
the get go.
beginning.
Not from the get
But
go.
you guys are doing well now, right?
We're doing
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
For the first 4 months, I didn't make a paycheck. I was living off of like extra jobs that my father-in-law had.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like for cash, because like at the actual apartment complex,
Are you using social media at all or no?
we do and we don't.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, we don't want to do residentials.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We rather focus on apartment complexes. So then, like, the thing is, like, we had an ass hat that was covering our commercial insurance, and he couldn't get this documentation correct because, you know, to work at
Yeah,
a
you have to have insurance.
you
Yeah.
have to have insurance for your vehicles, business insurance, commercial insurance, you know, workers' comp, all that stuff. And these people need that stuff
Yeah.
before you can start working with them. You may have your business license and all that, but you need all that stuff. And it's like, because of that, apart from these apartment complexes having their monthly budgets, like where they can't go over,
Mm.
like it's like they couldn't pay us because we didn't have the proper documentation turned in.
Mm.
So even with the proper documentation, it may still take some time for them to pay you. You know what I mean? Like the first 4 months, I didn't make a paycheck. I was working for cash, like I told you, and then there's been times even afterwards where it's like I had my workers' comp and commercial insurance, all the correct documentation, and month and a half, these people wouldn't send me a paycheck out of like jobs that I did. You know, it's like they're quick to want a job done and get a service done.
Hey, but they ain't gonna fucking pay you.
When they're
That's
not.
that's
they're
my
not quick.
life. That's my life. So listen, I'm glad you said this, man, because there's many young men out there that want to, you know, I tell everybody that I fucking can talk to, it's like, dude, start your own business. I don't give a fuck what it is. If you're a plumber, start your own fucking plumbing business. If you're a painter, there is nothing more rewarding than fucking being your own boss. What do you think?
I think so. Like
Mhm.
I can't go back.
I could never go back.
I can't go back to like turning in a W-2 form for somebody and having them boss me for the rest of my life,
Mm.
because it's like something about you knowing the work of your hands,
Yeah.
and it's like it's more rewarding.
Yeah, you dictate your own
Like,
future, basically. That's
yeah.
what you're doing.
No, really.
You know, you're making your own path.
Versus like, because in my head I was thinking like, what if one day these people decide to tell me, you know, at my old job, you know, like, oh, we're gonna have a layoff, or hey, you know, the recession or whatever the hell,
Yeah.
like you're gone. At least here, even if there's a recession, I'm still making money because I'm gonna be out there working 7 days a week if I have to,
For
because
sure.
that's the way it is, you know. And like, I used to be the guy at my old job. I don't want overtime. Fuck that shit. You know why? Because if I worked overtime, that was more taxes and more stuff. I still got to pay taxes now, but these people weren't paying me enough. You know what I mean? In that sense, where like it's like it was worth it. I was like, I'll take my regular 40 hours, fuck all the rest. But now because I'm working for myself and I'm seeing the money coming in, it's like I want to work.
But you specialize in apartments,
right?
But you also paint them and all that shit too.
I don't paint. We have some people that paint, that subcontract.
You don't want to do. You don't like doing that shit, or what?
I just haven't tried it. I don't even know.
Really?
Like we offer painting. I don't know how to paint.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I guess that's just a business. You know what I mean? It's.
I got you.
You know, like you give me a price, I'll tell you. You know what I mean? Like I can do that. I can't do that, and then I got to make a profit. So like I mean that's how we do things. And
you and I are definitely gonna have to network, man, because yeah, like me, I'm like, I'll fucking try anything. I don't give a fuck.
I'll try.
Saying? I'll try, man. if somebody will give me some money,
yeah.
Like I said, I'm trying to do it on I'm basically trying to show my girlfriend, because she has her business in her own right. Mm-hmm. But I always tell her, I'm like, if you have a couple of contracts, you should be good.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can make a budget for everything else that you need, your car, whatever the fucking bills, man. It's you know, if you do the fucking numbers and you make them work and you fucking hustle your ass off, there's
like
nothing you can't do.
Like I'll tell you what, like right now, it's like we're making enough where it's like, you know, thankfully I've been able to pay my house, pay my cars, you know, pay insurance, all the basic bills and utilities and stuff like that. And it's like I don't got much more from that
Mhm.
because I got to pay other people.
Yeah, but does your wife helps you too, right? She does
She
the
do-
numbers or what?
She does. She's been taking care of her dad's invoices like since she was 13.
Hmm.
So it's like she knows what's going on, like the business side of it. Like it's like I'm really good at research. So like I've began understanding business credit, things
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah, 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 for
You know what I mean?
sure.
Because that's
Very
dude,
important.
that's like when you
King.
you run into hard times, you need business credit. And it's not the same like personal credit. The more you run, sometimes these businesses will see that and then they'll be able to give you more. You know what I mean? You run your personal credit high up, nobody's going to look at you. They're going to look at you like you're fucked up. But I mean but yeah, like beginning to understand that and beginning to understand like the how the books work and stuff like that, budgeting and things like that. It's like we're not the best at budgeting, but I mean we're making it by and we're making it happen. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And we're not quitting. You know what I mean?
And how long have you guys had the business for?
Since September last year,
So you guys are kicking ass then, man.
we're working. We're working. I've already made
Mm.
twice as much as I would make in a year's time with my old job. Although I mean, I have been paying people and stuff like that, but I don't. I'm not. It's not that crazy because I mean, we just recently picked up painting, so it's
Mhm.
like a lot of that is just me and my wife, and like underneath and just getting dirty and shouts, people getting evicted through
You
the.
take haul their shit out.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Like I remember going into a apartment, opening the fridge, and there's bugs. It looks like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It smells like pure ammonia inside of it.
Yeah, we've done turnkey, man, where people, leave the house and they leave it a fucking a
Oh,
mess. We got I like to do the kitchen, and she does everything else because she's really good at fuck. I mean, she's really good, man. But I
yeah,
like to do the kitchen because usually the messiest, you
it's
know.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
These ovens get bad.
Mm-hmm.
The inside of the fridge, if there's no electricity and there's food dying in there,
Even worse.
oh man, it's putrefying. Like meat just gives off ammonia, and
Mm.
I realize that bugs are attracted to ammonia.
Mm.
That's why these bugs like are in landfills, and what I mean, they're looking at trash and looking like it's great because they're attracted to that shit. I sprayed bleach into I started spraying bleach into the one of them one time,
Mm.
and like I started getting lightheaded and I felt sick. I felt like throwing up. I didn't throw up. I mean, it's hard for me to throw up, but I could feel sick to my stomach, nauseated and shit. I was fucked up. I felt fucked up for the day. Afterwards, we got cleaned up. We went to a Mexican restaurant. I was eating chips, salsa, the food. It still smelled and tasted like whatever I smelled inside that fridge. It was that
Damn.
bad. So what I realized, I looked it up. I was like, what's is there something wrong with this? I realized that if you mix ammonia with bleach, it turns into mustard gas.
That's right.
So I don't know if that's what I was turning into, and then I was breathing that in, right?
Yeah.
But I felt like I told my wife, I was like, I don't know if I could have died for that,
You
but
could have
I
if you
just
got enough in you. Yeah.
I stopped and I closed that shit. And I told them sometimes you got to have a little self respect. Sometimes you got to tell these people, look, I can do a lot of shit, but there's some shit that I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna wrap duct tape around this fridge, and we're gonna take it out. We're gonna throw it away because that's it.
It was that bad.
It was that bad.
Holy shit.
So it's like, yeah. I mean, we're not afraid of getting dirty and doing bad stuff, but I mean, like,
So, but is it mainly apartments in like bad neighborhoods or just regular apartments?
I mean, it's apartments they sell up like as if they're good,
Yeah.
like high dollar type stuff. But I mean, man, when I was a kid and we lived in New Jersey, we lived in Puerto Rico, I know what the projects look like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Of
what they
course.
smell like, and it smells like the projects to me.
Yeah.
They're trying to sell it like it's expensive living in Atlanta metro area, but when I see prostitution, when I see heroin needles,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't care how high the expensive the rate is for rent. This looks and feels like the projects to me.
Really?
You know what I mean? And it's like these like a lot of these people like they're getting evicted because like a lot of them they're living off bad stuff. You know what I mean? I've seen prostitution. I've seen like the doors like torn down because cops getting into the apartments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for drugs and stuff like that. Like it's ugly.
Do you ever worry about your safety? Because you work with your wife,
Yeah,
right?
man. I carry a gun. I
You're a
mean,
smart man.
like, yeah,
Smart
I'm
man.
gonna carry a gun. I don't care. Like, it's kind of, it's my wife is a little bit. She's controlling, you know what I mean? Let's jujitsu. She's doing jujitsu, so it's helping her anxiety and her emotions
Yeah, I know
control
you,
things.
you and your whole family trained at Mansuda, right?
We did, and like, shoot, man, like if I can manage my time better, my kids will be there, because it's like, what is like, we live off Webgen, right? We live close, so
we're just getting the kids.
they can get there, man.
We get the biggest problem that we're having right now is that we have like a mixture of kids. But I'm trying to get, because you're, how old's your boy?
16.
Yeah, so 16 would be perfect with like 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Dude, I do old man shit too.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been going with some of these fucking white belts, man, and my fucking neck. I mean,
Bro,
you know, they don't fuck around, dude.
Bro, like,
they're not good.
I've gotten elbowed in the face.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten 2 black eyes from white belts.
Yeah. So you got to be careful,
and
you know.
It's not even, it's not even their technical superiority in elbowing or some shit like that. It's just wild randomness.
Just sloppy, man. They just get everywhere.
It's like, and like, my wife is a white belt right now. And like, I tell her this stuff and she's like, she gets personal about it. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Listen, look, this isn't an indirect towards you, girl. Yeah. Like it's that bad. You know what I mean? My wife isn't that bad because she would drill like wrestling moves with my son in the garage.
Yeah.
And it's like, she understands positioning.
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know, holding position and it's not flopping over when somebody does a move on you. Cause I mean, you know, let's be real. Like, as kids starting up, like, you know what I mean? They're just flopping over. They don't know what a move is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Providing resistance. So it's like, my wife is not necessarily the crazy spazzy white belt, but you know, she's still learning. You know what I mean? But she has a spaz moment sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had them too.
But listen, I had to do it. I was just taking one for the team, you know, because we're just building up the school, you know. So we're getting there. But yeah, man, whenever you're ready, that would be perfect, because I want to be able to train. That's what I want to do. I want to train with, like, let's say 11 and up.
Yeah.
Because then with that, you could do more technical shit too. Because, you know, obviously I'm a grown man. So it's not like I'm fucking going hard, but I give them resistance and they get more technical after. And that's what they need to do. You know, they need to feel that more, that jujitsu, you know? So that's why I like training with younger guys instead of like, you know, like a fucking 23-year-old fucking white belt. You know, he's just gonna be everywhere.
It's hard too, because it's like when they're still younger, you can still mold them a little bit.
Exactly.
You know, like when it's kind of like I heard a saying one time. I can't really quote it perfectly, so don't take me on that. But I mean, like, it was like you can fix, like, you can't fix like a old man or something like that. You know, I mean, like the saying, they say that you can't teach an old man new tricks, because they're pretty much set in their ways.
For sure.
And it's like, a lot of times it's like, I try to resist that, but it's like, I find myself in that too. I mean, I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? But it's like a kid, you can mold them a little bit better. An older man, like, or like a 25-year-old, especially, they're fresh out of college. They think they know it all. They think they know the world. They think that's it. You know what I mean?
I know.
They need to be humbled and. But I mean, like, it's
but how old are you?
I'm 33.
So I mean, you're there. You're getting, you know, like, that's what when you do the most growing up is, you know, around that age, because you're becoming seasoned.
Yeah, and I'm starting to understand now why a lot of older people in general, they say what they need to say, and they do what they need to do, and because it's like in my early 20s and my mid 20s, I was still in the mentality where it's like I wanted to do things my way, and like I wasn't okay with being humble about things.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I'm realizing now how incorrect that was and how much better I could have been if I would have been a little bit more humble.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like now I understand. It's like, and seeing the way the world operates, it's like I had a friend die recently.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You know, it's I mean, it's part of life, right?
Of course.
And I'm sure he knew.
It's still tough though.
It's tough because he was a good man, you know. It's like he taught me a lot about being a parent, you know what I mean? And like, just kind of like with my son in wrestling, it's like, and his older son was like teaching my son.
Did he die from old age or just?
I'm not sure exactly. Like I didn't want to ask him any questions. I'm not like if I'm not the guy like rolling up next to like the on the highway trying to see what happened. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
People, it's like something happened. Like all respects, I got to keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's like with him, like just the fact that he's not here anymore,
yeah,
that bothered me. I'm not gonna ask. You know what I mean? But he was 66. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
You know, so it's like in the family, it's like I didn't really know how to talk to them,
Mm.
and it was really hard. You know what I mean? And but I mean, like because it's like you know if you've heard something about somebody, it's like you I don't know if it's easier to talk about it, but when it's somebody that's been close to you, it's kind of hard to kind of like approach and
It's very difficult,
you
man.
know because it's like I know how much it hurts. You
It's
know?
very difficult. I had not similar situation because I wasn't very close. He was a friend of mine. The maintenance guy that worked here came in here one day and his name was George. He was complaining of stomach pain, and I was like, dude, just go home, man. And he died like a week later. A week later, I was like, and that's the kind of stuff that shocks you, man, because you're like, dude, I was just talking to him.
Yeah.
But apparently he'd had cancer like 10 years before.
Yeah.
So I think he must have probably known when he had that pain. He was probably like, shit probably
That's
came
it.
back.
Like it's like I think I want to say it was old age. You know what I mean? It's like he was an older man, and he lived his life. You know what I mean? I know he had drank. I know he had smoked. Like you know what I mean? He lived his life, but he was a good man. And I don't like if that's what he did. I mean, so be it. But I mean, like he was a good man.
Of
You know
course.
what I
Of
mean? And it's
course.
like I learned a lot from him on how to be like I guess really taught me how to be a father, how to be a man, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like his son kind of took my son under his wing
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of bringing him up and wrestling and stuff like that, and then like you know taught me how to like just take chances, like take my son out of state, take him to wrestling tournaments. Like why am I gonna waste my time like just holding him back? Like just throw him out there, you know, take
Mm-hmm.
him out there, like speaking his mind. He'd say what he needed to say to people, and he never held back.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's like looking at that, and as I'm growing, because every day I'm growing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just 33, man. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like 5 years from now, like 10 years from now, I'm gonna be older, and like I hope I'm still learning, and I still have that mindset. Like I want to learn.
I'm sure he will. It seems like you're taking the right path, man.
I'm
As far as
trying.
you and your family, your business.
I'm trying, man. It's like it's not easy, but I mean, like it's like Dan Gable had a wrestling quote. He said, what isn't easy when you're trying to be the very best? You know, nothing's easy.
That's right.
If you're trying to be the very best, nothing's easy.
That's right.
It's like even my son's realizing that right now because we take him to do some jobs with us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like he was saying he's like, man, life is really hard. I'm like, yeah, man, it's gonna keep getting harder.
Exactly.
Like you think it's hard now, like talking to a girl in your school or whatever,
Mhm.
like letting her know you like her or asking her out.
Mhm.
Like, let me tell you when you got to go to work and if you don't go to work, you know the bills don't get paid because the money's not coming in, you know stuff like that. Or imagine you going to work, like I just told you,
Yeah.
going to work for 4 months, not getting paid, and having to show up with the same enthusiasm every fucking day. You know what I mean? That's not easy. And like all this stuff is helping like my kids and they're seeing it and hey man, we're getting better together. I'm growing up while they're growing up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And like, you know, my wife is right there with me. We're the same. We're in the same mindset.
Mhm.
And you know what I mean? Like when things get hard, it's like she'll spot me. You know what I mean? Most of the time I'm spotting her.
You have to.
You know what I mean? But it's like she looks at me and she tells me sometimes she's like, "You don't hurt. You don't feel the way I feel." I'm like, "I do. It's just I don't process it like you do.
Yeah, you have to be the rock.
I have to be." And it's
Mhm.
like, and she's told me that. She's told me rock. You know what I mean? And like she's who she leans on me. So it's like even when times get hard with me, it's like just to know that they're okay is what matters to me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like just like a simple like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you good?" Yeah, yeah, I'm good. It's just tough, you know. Like I'm okay with that. And it helps me proceed forward. Like when things are really fucked up,
Mhm.
you know. It's like
Well, they give you strength, man.
they do,
Your family gives you
like
strength to keep going.
they do, and that's what I had a I think it was recently like about a week ago. I told my son, and like my wife was telling him like, you know, you taught us how to be better for you because we saw you suffering and we see you going through things and now I'm seeing the stages you're going through and I remember where I was and you're helping me like understand better like how to be a dad, because I'm learning how to be a dad every day.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So
Cool.
it's kind of like we're all helping each other grow, and we're getting better together.
That's awesome, man. That's a positive, fucking positive message that you're putting out there, especially, like I said, uh, hard times make hard men. That's what I tell my son all the
Yeah.
time. Hard times make hard men. So
Yeah.
do what's hard.
Yeah.
Do what's difficult, you know?
Take the road less traveled.
That's
You
right.
know?
That's
So
right. That's right.
we always think of that.
hmm
It's like if it's easy, it's probably not worth it.
hmm
You know?
Well, shit, man. I think that, man, we've talked about a lot of things. Thank you for being here again, man. It was really,
Yeah, yeah,
we're
of
gonna have to
course.
do it again.
No,
I
of course.
want to continue to pick your brain because, yeah, you're like a guy that's you're a lot like me. I'm always asking questions, like, what's going on? Why is this like this? Why?
Yeah.
Why am I acting like this? Is it normal for me to act like this?
Yeah, those I ask myself questions like that every day.
Yeah.
Every decision I make, I like you said, being the head of the household, it's like you got to make sure you're making the right decision,
Mhm.
and it's like it's like it's I got to make sure it's not opinion based,
Mhm.
that it's fact based.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know what I'm
we're
saying?
logical. Men are logical
Men
for the
are
most part.
yeah, logical, rational thinking, and it's like, am I making this decision because I feel like this today, or am I making this decision because it is the correct thing to do? You know.
Uh-huh.
So it's like I'm always thinking and questioning things, but just for the better.
Do you think that have you even because I don't really watch the news anymore, but have you been keeping track of what's going on in the Ukraine? Because those guys look like they're getting fucking crushed.
I haven't been keeping up.
No, at all. You don't watch the
I'm
news.
I'm tired. I'm tired of all the shit. Like, because it's like you said, like we've spoken about it. It's like they're twisting, contorting stories and stuff like that. And it's like, you know what? People are suffering,
Mm.
and we got to get better about shit like now,
Mm.
but I mean, with the way media and stuff like that has portrayed a lot of things and twisted stories up, I don't know what to trust.
Listen, and look, I agree with you, man. I don't watch the fucking news because I really don't give a fuck. I have my own problems.
Oh, yeah.
Currently I'm trying to run 2 businesses
Yeah.
and trying to, like I said, dude, man, I really appreciate all that stuff all that advice you gave me about the cleaning business because I'm going to now I can pivot.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, fuck, let me just start calling apartment
get in there.
complexes.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Show up.
Yeah, just show up.
Just show up.
So see, you were of value to me. And you are younger. You're a lot younger than me. See? So you have to be able to be humble enough to be like, man, I don't fucking get this, man. Abner, what the fuck? Help me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what we need more of, like a basically a place where men can come to and not be embarrassed about being men or not knowing something.
Bro, like that's where my son's at. He thinks he knows it all, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know shit. Like everything I told you, it's not me. It's bits and pieces of everything through all the experiences I've had in my life. I don't know shit. Like I'm telling you the shit that helped me through somebody. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like I had this guy tell me one time. He's like, I'm just a vessel, man. I'm just a vessel.
That's right.
Like he told me that shit, and it's like he was crazy as fuck. We all have that crazy neighbor that says random shit, walks to your door and says weird shit. But just that it stuck out to me because it was so funny, and I think of it to myself. I'm just a vessel, man. I'm that coach, that man, that business person, whatever. They put that into me, and if I can share what helped me with somebody to help make your life better, by all means, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I appreciate the advice. Like I said, I've been in the printing business pretty much all my life, so I know this business, but listen, all businesses are the same at the same time. I mean, like I said earlier, I told my girlfriend, I said, it takes a long time. I don't care what anybody tells you, man. Everything takes time.
Yeah.
So it's from somebody looking at it from their perspective, they could be like, dude, as far as what I do, be like, this guy's got it made. And I always tell him, dude, it took me half my life. Think about that. It took me 24 years to get to where I am today. And I'm still trying to fucking learn.
What's to say about you that you were able to go through all that and you didn't quit? A lot of business owners quit. A lot of businesses fail.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's why, man, because we're men. That's what men do, really. That's what's expected. Nobody tells you, good job, buddy. We have to
Uh,
do it. We have no choice. You
yeah,
know, we can't get into our feelings and fucking start crying and, oh, poor me. I'm like, nobody gives a fuck about us at the end of the day,
nobody
man.
cares about me.
That's what that.
Nobody cares. I mean, my family cares about me, but I got my problems, man.
That's right. All right, guys. So look, I think we've said enough. We have spoken as men. And like I said, that's what this podcast is about, man. I want to thank you again. It's a wonderful fucking podcast. We got to do it again, brother.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
All right, guys. So listen, enough. He's got shit to do, man. And I got shit to do. So for the old man or for the old breed, we are out. All right, brother. That was excellent. That was fucking fantastic.